And so overall, a solid game. Good. Again, the win is what we're most concerned with, obviously, and coming out of there 7-1. So now it's on to the Huskies. They're probably playing their best football of the season. Had a great game against Arizona, just hitting on all cylinders and really had their way for the entire 60 minutes. So we got a big challenge. It's up at their place. And Washington is the one team that we have not beat yet since we joined the Pac-12. So that's a challenge for our guys right there to step up.
Chris Peterson obviously has got the better view in the last two matches. What do you kind of see about sort of the consistency of his coaching style, what his teams are like every year, and why his teams have been so good against Utah?
Well, first of all, he's an exceptional coach. He had that great run at Boise, and now, of course, he's up at UW getting his stamp on that program. I would say the programs right now we're winning in similar fashion. They're playing really good defense and being efficient on offense, if not not spectacular with the numbers, but just efficiently putting games together. And then special teams is solid. So there's a lot of parallels between the way we've operated this season between the two teams. But Coach Peterson's an exceptional coach. Like I said, I've always had a great deal of respect for him, and he's one of the top coaches in the country. We're getting pretty banged up. We got some guys that are down, and it seems to have been more. The injuries seem to have accumulated more this year in season than in years past. But the next guy up is got to perform, and that's how it's been, and that's what we got to keep doing, is just keep having those guys that are the backups step up and pick up the slack.
Chase Hansen's had some good plays on defense this year, including I think it was the sack last week.
Right.
Are you seeing more production out of him? Are you liking what you're seeing on the defense, and is there a future for him?
Without a doubt, we're liking what we see out of him, and he's going to play a bunch this week, a bunch. And the future for Chase will be up to Chase. I think he's going to be a fine quarterback if that's the direction he wants to go. He has fallen in love with the safety position. The short version is, after the season, we'll talk to him, see which way he wants to go, and whichever way that is the direction we'll go. And he's going to play for us somewhere next year full time, and it just depends on where he wants to be.
Coach, Jake Browning has not played like a true freshman, USC, and
right
against Arizona. Can you talk about what's made him so effective?
Well, he's so smart, so poised. He got there in spring, which really helped his cause. He was able to be there for spring football. I'm very familiar with Jake. He played on my nephew's championship team at Folsom. They were teammates together, so I've followed him ever since he was in 10th grade, and have known of his talents and abilities. And it's not surprising to me at all how he's doing and how well he's played as a true freshman. Just because I've known about him for a long time and watched him play, but he's he was out a couple weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago he missed the game, but he was back in full force against Arizona and had a very good game, and he's got a bright future. He's a tremendous talent.
Reg Porter seems to be getting better and better every week for you as he's coming back from that injury, and I thought he had his best game.
Agreed.
Also on the other side, you've got a rotation going through there. Will you talk about how your corners are playing right now?
I think the corners are playing very well. I thought they played well Saturday night. Reggie individually had 4 pass breakups, which is a career high for him in one game. Damo, although they went over the top one time on him, it got called back, so it didn't count. But Damo's playing well, and we're really playing with 4 corners right now. Reggie and Damo, and then Brian Allen and Corey Butler-Bird. Those guys are the ones taking the reps. And it was about 2-1. I think Damo and Reggie had 40 to 42 snaps, and Corey and Brian had about 20 snaps each. So that does 2 things. Number one, it develops those guys behind them for future. It gives Brian and Corey more reps. And number 2, it makes the first corners fresh at the end of the game. Instead of having covered 65 straight snaps, they've had a break here and there, which makes them stronger at the end of the game. And it's the same principle with all when we rotate D linemen. Same thing. We develop guys as well as give the starters a little bit of a break.
Their physical defense, they're very good against pass and the run, so we definitely have a challenge this weekend, but we just got to make sure we execute on our offense.
They're big, they're physical. They probably have some of the best linebackers that we're going to face this year. So just looking at them, we just know that we need to keep the run game going and obviously get those passes downfield and complete those.
I mean, I think confidence is been a big part of my performance this year, and but I kind of just let things happen, and I just try to practice every day to get better, and just let everything kind of unfold that way. It's been great. I mean, Hiva has really stepped up and took on that role, and I think having JJ Dealman as well, being a leader of not only our offense but our team as well, is really help keep those guys focused and getting them prepared. But our O-line's just been doing a great job protecting me and eliminating the sacks.